businesses as well as the economies of the world were forced to shut down. So businesses had to fully incorporate remote work into their job structure, else they will lose value. And this, as we can see, a lot of businesses went out of business due to they were not able to fully incorporate remote work into their business, and their workers were fully seated at home doing nothing. So hybrid work this in the modern era is inevitable. We see that 73% of workers say they want flexible remote work. And as you can see from the Great Resignation, where in the West, thousands of people are resigning from their jobs because they are required to go back to the office. Everybody wants to work remotely because it gives them more flexibility and it makes them more productive. So staying connected basically is imperative. We also hear that 80% of managers expect to have more flexible work from home policies post-pandemic. So even managers are trying to understand with their team members more, because team members are requesting for more work from home time to be able to increase their productivity. 60% of work environments will change, definitely. So leaders say their company is considering designing office space for hybrid work. So if you are considering designing your office to consider hybrid work, or if you're already engaged in hybrid work in your organization, then you need the right tools to be able to empower your people. So designed to transform the way people work, interact with each other, with collaboration firmly in mind, is Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams is built for everyone, whether it's for chat, calls, video. Anyone can engage at any time, bringing everyone closer and securely. So now, most of you will probably be using a third-party collaboration tool. So I'm sure some people use Slack, some people use Google Meet, some people use and Cisco. Whichever solution you are using, you ask yourself now, why should you opt for Microsoft Teams? Because we are trying to convince you to switch to Microsoft Teams, and we'll just give you some few reasons why we think Microsoft Teams is the best collaboration tool in the modern era of work. So first of all, since the inception of Microsoft Teams, we've experienced about 250 million monthly active users. Now, this is the fastest growth of any application delivered by Microsoft till date. So user adoption for Microsoft Teams have increased greatly over the past years. We've experienced Microsoft Teams in over 181 markets worldwide, which also supports about 53 languages. So you can toggle your Microsoft Teams to support the language that suits you best. We've also experienced 1 billion monthly one-on-one calls with 10 times direct routing minutes since the start of 2020. Also, monthly active users using ISV and custom app-built solutions on Teams grew nearly 10 times since the start of 2020. What does this mean? It means that Microsoft Teams, the innovation Microsoft have put into Microsoft Teams is structuring directly to organizational needs. So organizations are finding Microsoft Teams has more features and capabilities than the third-party tools they use for collaboration. Now, let's quickly take a look at some features of Microsoft Teams. Now, Microsoft Teams, you can get powerful instant meetings. You meet, chat, and share videos simply from everywhere to empower everyone to feel seen, heard, and included in the conversation. So in one survey, we had 83% of Teams users agree that Microsoft Teams helped the organization improve customer experience. Now, how can this be used to help improve customer experience? We have a lot of organizations using Microsoft Teams to deliver support to their clients. So with the remote features of Microsoft Teams, you can take control of your user systems to support them where it's needed. And while on that call, you can also chat, share documents, and it makes support very easy for users. So a big Teams moment here is that Teams has been very important in connecting with colleagues. My vivid experience would be when I realized I could blur the background or add a virtual background. This feature is not easily accomplished with other applications, but is simplified with Teams. So it's one of the very interesting features of Microsoft Teams, where you can blur your background or you can add a background image during your meetings to cover your background. So that gives you a very beautiful background image that can help cover the background you are in and makes meetings very fun and interesting. So Microsoft Teams can help you connect with your team. You can share documents and files, always available. You can create, share, and exchange ideas whenever you want and keep things moving forward. So information workers using Microsoft Teams can save an average of 4 hours per week through improved collaboration and information sharing. So your information workers out there in the field, from their devices, either their mobile devices or their laptops, can quickly connect to Microsoft Teams and send information to their team leads or their supervisors, send chats, documents from anywhere as long as there's little internet connection. So Microsoft Teams can help everyone participate in meetings from anywhere they are. With a good internet connection, you can accomplish more together with Microsoft Teams. How about focus? Microsoft Teams can allow your employees focus on what matters the most. With Microsoft Teams helping reduce app switching, users can save an average of 15 to 25 minutes per day. Now, what does this mean? It means that Microsoft Teams is a hub, not just a collaboration application. It's a hub where you can integrate all your other applications, be it Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel, OneDrive. You can integrate all of them in Microsoft Teams. So this helps you reduce app switching. So for instance, a document was shared to you on Teams. You don't have to go to Microsoft Word to open the document. You can open it right there within your Teams, which reduces the application startup time of Microsoft Word. Sometimes it takes about 2 to 3 seconds or even more for Word to start up. And that's, most people do not have that time to waste for your application to start up. So Microsoft Teams helps you focus on what matters the most to you. You have all your applications aggregated in the Teams hub. You do not need to switch between applications to get your to get the field you want. So a quick Teams moment here also. Teams gave us the ability to integrate with other Microsoft products we use. So our users can create teams, share files, collaborate all within the systems we use. So for businesses and organizations that use document sharing solutions like SharePoint and maybe use Power Apps to build custom workflows, you can integrate all these applications within Microsoft Teams and your users can interact with them right within the Teams hub rather than leaving to different URLs to connect to their applications. And that is not just all Teams can do for you. You can also integrate maybe your custom built applications. Maybe you have an app in-house that your developers build. You can also integrate it into Teams, and your users do not need to leave the flow of work in Teams to go to a URL on the browser to access your applications. From within Teams, they can access all the applications that are integrated. So quickly, we've talked about Microsoft Teams, but there's a new offering from Microsoft called Microsoft Teams Essentials. Now, what does this mean? This is basically everything you have with Microsoft Teams. It's basically Teams, but it provides Teams experience as M365 Business SKUs, but at a lower price, So it comes at a lower price. It comes outside of Microsoft 365 business plan. So you can purchase it as a standalone for your organization. You don't have to buy the full Microsoft 365 suite where you don't have to configure and deploy Azure Active Directory and then start migrating your users to the Microsoft platform. So for businesses that do not want to switch their current email system, you can go and purchase Microsoft Teams Essentials and then integrate it with your current email system without having to migrate to Microsoft. So this subscription, the Teams Essentials is a new subscription from Microsoft. It comes in an affordable package, can help you meet your customers' demands, for better online meetings. It can help you improve your team productivity and collaboration with an affordable solution, and can help you grow your business with a full featured platform. So you are basically getting almost all the features of Microsoft Teams that comes in a M365 Business SKU for a standalone application at a standalone price. Teams Essential also helps you unlock new possibilities while using your existing email and productivity apps. So like I said, you do not need to switch your existing email or productivity apps. If you just need collaboration for your meetings, to easily share documents, host webinars, have remote control sessions with your users or with your clients, Teams Essential can also help you unlock that possibility. So you have the ability to have those powerful instant meetings, connect your team, and then focus on what matters the most with Teams Essential. So Teams Essential can also help you bring your favorite apps and experiences together. Most customers ask, can I use Microsoft Teams Essential with my existing email system? And the answer is yes. Your users can keep using their existing email system and leverage rich Teams Essential clients to join meetings, chats, and collaborate. Other people ask, will I have a single calendar view on Microsoft Teams Essential for all my meetings? Yes, irrespective of your current email system or your current calendar system, you can still have all your calendar and meetings hosted on Microsoft Teams Essential. So users can have a single calendar view. They should be able to join meetings from their third-party calendar or Teams calendar. So for instance, if your business is using Gmail Workspace, for instance, and you have email and calendar on Gmail, you can get Microsoft Teams Essential and integrate it with your Gmail. So your calendar appears on both your Gmail and Microsoft Teams. So you can easily join your meetings from Microsoft Teams, or you can click to join your meetings from your Gmail calendar. So other people ask, can I access Teams calendar while Exchange is on premises? Now, these are for Exchange on-premise users that do not wish to switch to Microsoft 365. So you can still get access to meetings even if your mailboxes are hosted in an on-premise Exchange. So you can be able to get Microsoft Teams Essential and integrate it with your Exchange on premises so that your users can continue collaborating without having to switch to the cloud. So using apps in Teams empowers real-time interaction and makes collaboration more engaging and productive. So today there are over 1,000 third-party apps available in our Teams App Store, spanning across every industry and business function, most of which you already use today. These apps were designed specifically for Teams, bringing the best part of the standalone app into the context of collaboration. Now, let's take, for instance, HR and finance teams basically use apps like Workday, Adobe Sign to streamline common workflows in Teams. So customer service and support teams use ServiceNow to increase collaboration, employee satisfaction, and decrease the load on central services used by managing support requests in Teams. So for ServiceNow customers, you can also integrate ServiceNow into Microsoft Teams and have a seamless experience supporting your customers using the ServiceNow application. There are also new third-party application integrations that have been released recently or are coming in the next couple of months, such as we have Atlassian, Confluence, we have SAP C4C, Salesforce, even Facebook Workplace will be integrated into Microsoft Teams in the future, in the near future. And many more applications are coming. So all these new integrations bring critical structured business processes and data together with the new collaborative ways of working. So you get more applications to use right within your Teams hub. So not only are these new apps coming to Teams, but we are seeing more and more end users using these apps directly within their Teams to stay in the workflow of work. So these applications are pre-built into Microsoft Teams that can help small and medium scale businesses to work better. There are free apps built in Teams that can help employees to be interactive. We have Microsoft Planner. Microsoft Planner, you can have your team plan their schedule, plan their tasks, and you can monitor the tasks they are doing all from within Microsoft Teams. We also have Bookings, Microsoft Bookings. These are some of the free applications built into Teams that you can use for your day-to-day activities. If you're also using Trello boards, for instance, or Jira, you can integrate all those into Microsoft Teams as well, and then give your employees the best experience of interacting with the applications right from within the Teams hubs. So let's take a look at some Teams Essential use cases. When is it necessary, or when do you need to purchase Teams Essential? So Teams Essential basically appeals to new SMB customer segments. So for those customers, for those businesses that are just starting out and budget is constrained, Teams Essential it's an easy way to solve your collaboration issues. So for first cloud workload, Teams Essential works seamlessly with an on-premise or hosted exchange and provides access to Office applications on the web so that perpetual Office customers can get Teams in the cloud. So if you are using a perpetual Office, for instance, you're using Office 2010, 2013, 2019 with a perpetual license, you can also integrate calendaring in for your users by giving them Teams Essential. So standalone meetings and calling. Teams Essential delivers a full Teams experience without deploying the full Microsoft 365 suite. Like I mentioned earlier, you do not need to switch to Office 365 or Microsoft 365. All you need to do is get Teams Essential and continue using your existing infrastructure. So Teams Essential enables the right scenarios at the right price for existing SMB customers to expand their coverage to all frontline workers. So what does this mean? For instance, you are using Microsoft 365 Business Basic, and with that you get Microsoft Teams. Now, if you want to extend your frontline workers, let's say you increase your workforce to 15 more people that are out there in the field collecting customer surveys and information, and you need these guys to be able to collaborate, quickly share those information with your team, but you are considering the cost. For instance, if you are using a business basic license, you are purchasing that at the cost of $6 per user. If you want to increase collaboration for your 15 new frontline workers, you are looking at adding more cost. So why not consider Teams Essential for those frontline workers, where you can just invest as little as $4 per user per month and get them up and running with your collaboration features. Teams Essential also enables you to offer customized apps integrations, and solutions to large and growing SMB customer base. So you can also offer your custom-built applications to both your customers and your employees in-house, to enable them with the best collaboration tool. So basically, more hybrid work means that SMBs need integrated tools to connect anytime, anywhere, and on any device. But most SMBs have found out that other meeting solutions lack features or are too expensive, and they often require third-party apps for key functionalities, and don't even integrate meetings and chat collaboration. So most of these collaboration tools do not integrate meetings, chat, and collaboration at the same time. Some SMBs also found that they don't have the time or budget to manage complex solutions. So if you begin to look at purchasing Microsoft Teams through a M365 Business SKU, they are going to require technical overhead in deploying and managing that solution. So for those customers who are having issues with the complex solutions, they can just switch to Teams Essential and then forget about the technicality in setting up from scratch. Some also found that they don't want to switch email providers or stop using Perpetual Office. So for someone who is paying for Office 2019 and has already purchased licenses, but still wants to experience Microsoft Teams Essential, they do not need to totally switch their licenses to 365. They just have to get and desktop applications. With no need to purchase the Microsoft Business SKU for them. Teams Essential can help them deliver collaboration from wherever they are. Or basically, if you just want the simplest low-cost solution for bringing collaboration to your users, Teams Essential is also the best way to go. So Microsoft Teams Essential is offered in two ways. So it's offered through partner, which is Bluetooth Meta Analytics, for instance, your cloud service provider. And for Teams Essential offered through partner, it's called Microsoft Teams AAD, which is Azure Active Directory. So that comes with an identity for you. But if you are purchasing through Web Direct, that you're going there to Microsoft page to purchase Teams Essential, you get just Teams Essential, and your authentication is handled via Microsoft account and not Azure Active Directory. So if you Teams Essential Web Direct can just give you just collaboration. You do not have channels. You cannot create Teams channels, within Teams Essential Web Direct. Because it does not integrate with any SharePoint. It's direct on the web for you to just use. But if you are purchasing through a partner, you get the Azure Active Directory, which you can also integrate, can create channels. It's also very easy for you to manage your users with Teams. All right, so if you are purchasing Teams AAD through your partner, let's quickly take a look at some of the 3 common use cases for Teams AAD, how you can integrate Teams AAD with your existing system. So 1, you can add Teams AAD, Teams Essential AAD with existing email and calendar, such as your Google Workspace. So if you're already a Google Workspace user, you can just add Teams Essential to provide calendaring and other powerful features of Teams to your business. You can also add Teams Essential AAD with existing email and calendar, whether you have consumer or without consumer email. So you can also just sign up for Teams Essential, even if you don't have a directory system in your organization. You can also add Teams Essential AAD with an existing email and calendar with Exchange on-prem. So for those people using Exchange on-premises and do not wish to switch to Office 365, you can also bring Teams Essential to your organization. Now let's take a look at how each of this works. All right, so adding Teams AAD with existing email and calendar with business domains such as your Google Workspace. So in this use case, the customer has an existing email system with calendar such as Google Workspace, and this customer does not currently intend to switch to Microsoft 365. But the customer wants to add Teams for online meetings and collaboration. So this is how we're going to accomplish this now. We will do this by leaving the current email system intact. So your Gmail remains intact, which will be your primary email system. Then we'll forward all email to Exchange Online. So Teams Essential AAD comes with Exchange Online. So we'll forward all your emails to Exchange Online and then filter everything except emails of the calendaring type. Non-calendaring type emails are deleted. Now, this is not deleted from your Gmail side. Your emails drops on your Gmail side, but are also forwarded to Exchange Online as well. Then those ones that have calendar are saved on Exchange Online so that you can be able to access them on your Teams calendar. And then the ones that do not have calendar are deleted from the Microsoft end of things, but your emails remain in G Suite, in Google Workspace. They are not moved. So all non-calendaring type emails are deleted and calendaring emails are automatically accepted as tentatives so that they appear in your Teams calendar. We'll also forward all emails generated in M365 to the third-party system so that users get Teams reminders and notifications. So if your users also create email in Exchange Online, it will be forwarded to your Gmail as well, so that in case there is a calendar type email there, it will appear on your calendar. So single sign-on of user identity is also possible, but not required. So you can also enable single sign-on for Teams and your G Suite. So users should be able to join Teams meetings from either their third-party calendar or Teams calendar. So if you have this set up for your Google Workspace environment, your users can see their calendar in Gmail and also on Teams, and then can join from either of those and to open up your meeting in Microsoft Teams. So for users that do not have a business domain, that is, do not have any consumer email, you can configure a consumer Gmail account and that primarily rely on the Teams G Suite add-on. So you can just go create your email account and start using Microsoft Teams Essential. So security first may need to be disabled to accomplish this, which makes using a strong, unique password. So for this set of people, your identity is provided through Microsoft accounts because you do not have any existing consumer email. So you have to create strong passwords since Azure Active Directory will not be handling authentication for your users here. You will need to provide strong passwords to secure your Teams environment. Now, let's look at for people using on-premise Exchange. So to make calendar access work for your on-premise mailboxes, Teams needs to access your Exchange on-prem organization for both Autodiscover and AWS. There are several things to remember here. Autodiscover URLs should be available from the internet. Pre-auth is not supported. If you use some sort of publishing system, you will need to configure pass-through. You can also verify that external URLs on-prem are accessible. Trying to open directly on the web. So sometimes you might see that those tests pass successfully, but the free or busy for on-prem users is not visible from your tenant. So if you are using OAuth, you might have some you might have some issues, with access, but if you're using pre-auth, that won't be a problem. So for your on-premise users as well, Exchange, like I said, you can configure Teams Essential to deliver calendaring to your users. And as well, you do not need to worry about the technical side of things. All you need to do as a business, you just to purchase Teams Essential and have your partner come in and configure a seamless access for you and your users to be able to use the features of Microsoft Teams Essential. Now, let's take a look at some questions that qualifies you for Microsoft Teams Essential. So if you have some of these needs, and maybe your business needs falling within these questions that we have here, we strongly advise that you consider the option of using Microsoft Teams Essential. So one, do you want to improve your meetings and collaborations, but you are constrained by budget? So if you are looking to go for a Microsoft 365 business SKU, that budget is a constraint here. You can option for Teams Essential, which comes at $4 per user per month. And if you are purchasing through a partner, you can able to get more discounts from there. So do you want to put off buying a better meeting solution because it seems like too complex to manage? So you are looking at buying a meeting solution, but when you start looking at the complexity to integrate and manage, you see that if you switch to Microsoft Teams Essential, you will deliver seamless experience and integration for both IT and for your users. I told you, do you use multiple applications to meet communication and collaboration needs? So if you have a lot of applications in your organizations, we see some of our customers deploying in-house applications, some using Tally, some using different HR applications, that are custom built in-house. So if you have a lot of collaboration applications, you can also option for Teams or Teams Essential and then integrate all those applications into Teams for easy access for your employees. Do your team sometimes struggle with your current meeting and collaboration tools? You are also eligible for Teams Essential. Would you like to reduce the number of apps you use? Do you want every employee to have their own meetings accounts so they don't have to worry about sharing? So if users are sharing meeting accounts and that's a concern, you are also a customer that should consider Teams Essential. Would you benefit from centralizing how you manage users, devices, and security settings? So if you are having issues managing all this, you can also offer Teams through a business SKU. Are you concerned about sensitive data being lost because files get shared by email? So Microsoft Teams has a high level of compliance to keep your data safe and secure. So when you offer Teams, no need to worry about sharing files via emails. You can share files directly within Teams and get the best of protection. You have frontline workers who need to participate in meetings and collaboration, but do not need traditional desktop installed Office applications. If this is you, this is a very good solution to opt for that is cost effective and also provides the best collaboration tools for your users. So let's quickly take a look at Teams Essential pricing and what you get with Teams Essential. So if you are looking at Teams in general, from an SMB perspective, you can purchase Microsoft Teams through a business basic M365 SKU or a business standard and business premium, which also comes with a lot of applications and both security and collaborative applications for your organizations. However, Teams Essential comes at, compared to other MK plans within the M365 SKU, it's very cheap. It comes at $4 per user per month, and this is when you are purchasing from WebDirect. If you're purchasing in large numbers, let's say between 50 to 300 users, you can even purchase directly from a CSP and get even more discount on that $4. So with this, you can also get 3 hours of 300 group participants in a meeting. You get 30 hours meeting duration. You get file and document cloud storage of 10 gigabytes. And if you are purchasing Teams Essential AAD through a CSP, you get 2 gigabytes of email. If you are purchasing through WebDirect, you don't get either of those. So these are a little comparison between Teams Essential and the Teams in the M365 business SKUs. So basically, Microsoft Teams is just the best collaboration tool to use in your organization, either for chat, calling, meetings, document sharing, application integration. It's just the hub for you to enhance collaboration in the modern work era. Built with consideration of your business needs, whichever it may be, Microsoft Teams has a way of offering that service to you. So quickly, we're going to look at Windows 365, how you can empower your users with Windows 365. Now, as I'm sure you know firsthand, the shift to hybrid work creates new opportunities, but it also comes with its challenges. So basically, as you move your business from from one model to a hybrid model where you have a hybrid workforce, there are new challenges you need to encounter that you encounter, such as provisioning of your users' devices, how you can secure their devices, how you can secure the applications that your users use, even where they are working remotely. This is a major concern for most businesses because when users work from remote areas, you don't know what they are doing or who is accessing the data that you give to your users. So as the hybrid work has solved a lot of issues, it has also created new challenges for both IT and organizations in general to tackle these scenarios. So things look different when new employees need to be onboarded from across the country, distributed teams need to be connected, specialized workloads need to be enabled, and new projects need to be scaled up. So not only do you need to get employees set up, but you also need to be prepared to provide support and respond to the rapid changing environment while still maintaining business continuity. And while managing this, you also need to ensure your data is secure, safe from threats, either big or small. So it is a challenge to address these needs with agility while keeping overhead at a minimum so that you don't sacrifice productivity or compromise security or costs get out of control. So if you are trying to mitigate some of these issues and you now start looking at other ways of provisioning, devices and securing your infrastructure, if you're not careful, the cost may get out of control. So the best way to control costs is to choose solutions that that serves your business model. So I'll take, for instance, for a hybrid workforce where you have a group of, let's say, developers, maybe architects, guys that need high-end devices for their work. If you think about it, going to purchase new devices, for instance, purchasing a device of 16 gigabytes of RAM, let's say 1 terabyte of hard disk for a developer who is just going to work for you for 3 months. If you take a look at that scenario, although that device is going to be used by other people, it's very expensive and it's not really sustainable in the future. So Windows 365 offers you a solution for provisioning, onboarding, and for onboarding new users and onboarding new people to your organization without having to overspend and exceed your budget. So if you consider today's computing solutions, for instance, the client PC, which everyone loves and uses often. Everyone is, whenever you join a new organization, you are offered a new client PC. We also have virtualization technologies, which organizations have used for years to deliver and stream applications to their customers. And more recently, desktop as a service is coming into play as well. So we hear from our customers just how hard and time consuming this can be to manage, to navigate the challenges of provisioning new devices for their users. So the client PC is also known and loved by everyone. It's very familiar. And you will buy and deploy easily to our people. You have to just image to get the right applications that you need for them. So it's one of the ways that organizations have been providing devices to their users. Now, these solutions help address common commercial needs, but they are not always suitable for all scenarios. Virtualization has been around for decades, and it was a game changer for many organizations, but it requires IT to have experience with virtualization that many companies aren't able to do. So this is a very complex technology to deploy, and it requires a lot of IT overhead to provision and stream applications to your users. This is where we introduce Windows 365 Cloud PC, a new solution for today's hybrid workforce. So Windows 365 brings new Cloud PC hybrid personal computing category to life. So you have a hybrid PC hosted in the cloud for you to access anytime and anywhere. And the complexity of the device to provide a full personalized Windows experience is one thing that Windows 365 is exceptional at. So this new Windows experience comes as organizations around the world grapple with the best ways to facilitate hybrid work models, where employees are both on-site and distributed across the globe. The Windows 365 Cloud PC experience is versatile, familiar, and productive by delivering their personalized content, settings, and applications, simple to deploy and manage from a single console, easy for anyone to use. It is secure by design, leaving no data on the device when appropriately configured by your admin. It's available on any device and optimized for the best experience on a Windows PC at a predictable price, of course. And lastly, it is scalable and resilient to support changing workforce needs and business scenarios. We'll talk more about this as we move on. So with all this, Microsoft aimed to make Windows 365 loved by all. That is, it's easy to deploy. So of course, your users will love it. They have easy access to their cloud PC in the cloud without having to configure, set up, and do all that. So what does this mean basically for your end user? So your employees will be able to boot instantly into their cloud PCs, streaming their personalized Windows experience, their apps, content, and settings from the Microsoft Cloud to any device of their choice. Windows 365 also travels with your users and is always ready and always updated wherever they need to work. They can pick up right where they left off because the state of the cloud PC remains the same, even when they switch devices. It's a simple and versatile Windows experience personalized for your users. Now, what does this mean for your IT? Deploy Windows 365, what does this mean for your IT? So for IT, Windows 365 offers many configuration options to easily scale to meet your employees' needs with the right processing power and storage to do their job when and how they need it. So take for instance, a developer needs an application installed and he only have about 8 gigabytes of RAM with let's say 250 gigabytes of storage, and he needs a high-end application that requires at least 12 gigabytes of RAM. So if you are using the old model of client PC, you start looking at, oh, we need to purchase a new device and miss this guy's recommendation. But the good thing about the 365, you can just scale up, go and change the SKU you purchase and then assign that SKU to this guy and he's up and running. Once he's done with his work, you can stop using the service, cancel the service, and you move on. You don't have to purchase a physical device that will cost a lot and gives you a lot of administrative overhead to manage as well. 365 makes purchasing cloud PCs easy, so you don't need the whole IT department to make it work. You can purchase it directly from the web with predictable per user per month pricing. And ongoing management is easy from the web portal, and this is accessible through windows365.microsoft.com. So with Windows 365, you can also simplify procurement, deployment, management, and update because unlike other solutions, it uses virtualization behind the scenes. So everything is done for you. You just set up and you use. Finally, and importantly, Windows 365 is secure by design. It secures and stores information in the cloud, not on the device, providing a secure, productive experience for users. And it's always up to date and building on the strength of rich Microsoft security capabilities and baselines. So your Windows 365 PC in the cloud is always secure and always up to date for your users. So you can access your Windows 365 from different devices and operating systems. So the form factor, you can access either from a desktop, laptop, tablet, or from your mobile device, and the platform, there's no constraint, either from your Windows, Mac OS, iOS, or Android. You can access your Windows 365 PC in the cloud. And you can also choose from a range of computer and storage configurations. So each offered at a predictable monthly per user price. So you can option for the 8 virtual CPUs at 32 gigabytes RAM and 128 gigabytes storage. If that satisfies your usage, you can go as higher as 32 gigabyte RAM and 512 gigabytes storage for your 8 virtual CPUs. You can option for a 4 virtual CPUs that gives you about 16 gigabytes and 120 gigabytes of storage. And you can also go as low as just 2 virtual CPUs. This, as I mentioned earlier, as your business model requires, that is how you provision Windows 365 based on your needs. You don't have to go and purchase something without knowing your needs. Now, let's take a look at the product licenses and SKUs available for Windows 365. So for your frontline workers, maybe call centers, education, training, CRM, access. What you need here, you can just go with the one virtual CPU, 2 gigabytes of RAM, and 4 gigabytes of storage. So the recommended applications for this set of users will be Office Lite web-based applications, maybe Microsoft Edge, OneDrive, lightweight line of business apps, e.g. call center application, web apps, and Defender support. So if you need resources for your users, you can provision them based on their needs. So you can also consider this if you want to bring your own PC method in the organization. So we have customers that allows their employees to bring their own devices to work. So if your employees already have devices that they need to, and they just need more resources, you don't need to buy new devices for them. You can provision resource in the cloud, a PC in the cloud for them at a temporal stage. Once they are done, you can deprovision and stop purchasing as you see fit. So like I mentioned earlier, based on your requirements, for instance, software developers, engineers, content creators, design and engineering workstations can option for 8 visual CPUs, and these are people that need high-end applications such as Microsoft 365 apps, Teams, Outlook, Access, Adobe Reader, Power BI, Visual Studio, or any other high-end application you need. You can provision your resources as you see fit. So this is very easy to set up and manage. You don't even need a CSP or a partner to come and set it for you. You can go direct to your portal, Microsoft 365 portal, and purchase Windows 365 and assign to your users. So let's quickly take a look at how you can purchase Windows 365. So you can go to your admin portal on Microsoft 365 and go to your purchase services and then search for Windows 365 business. That is, if you are a business, if you are a small business that just need the business SKU. There's also Windows 365 for enterprise, which also have a different set of configuration and pricing as well. But we are limited to the business for this particular workshop. So if you click on the plans and pricing on the portal, you can see the available plans. For instance, there's one virtual CPU with 2 gigabytes of RAM. So you can purchase any one you want, and the cheapest here is starting at $24 per user per month. So that's the cheapest. I think that should give you about one virtual CPU with 2 gigabytes of RAM and 64 gigabytes of storage. So once you have purchased selected the SKU you want, you click on buy to purchase your license. And also, if you do not want to purchase this yourself, like I mentioned, you can also contact your CSP and we can provision these licenses for you on your tenant. So once you purchase your license, the next thing to do is to assign these licenses to your users. And here you can go to the active users tab in your admin portal, go to your license and apps, and then you will see your Windows 365 to be listed Windows 365 with the SKU purchase in front of it. So for instance, Windows 365, one virtual CPU, 2 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabyte storage. Once you assign that license to your user who already have a directory account on your tenant, your user will go ahead and log on to www.windows365.microsoft.com on the browser and then sign in with their username and password, which you provision for them. And this will be the user experience. Once they sign in, they get this page. So from here, you can see the quick actions. You can download a remote desktop client, which you always use to access your device, or you can go direct, open your device in the browser. So if you click open in the browser here, it will take you to your Windows 365 on the browser. So that means you can access even from your mobile device. You can sign in, open your applications, your device, and then do your work, and then close your tab and log out if you wish. So let's really look at some of the user experience, how they can interact with their device here. So your end users can perform maintenance on their cloud PCs easily via the Windows 365 portal. So these are some of the things they can do. They can restart the PC, they can reset the PC. So the resetting does the following. Reset can reinstall the Windows, can remove your personal files such as OneDrive. You can remove your personal files, only OneDrive data remains on the device. It can also remove changes you made to settings and remove any applications you've installed. That is what reset button does for your user's cloud PC. For the rename, the rename can change the name of the cloud PC. You can change the name from whatever you want from what you have to whatever you want. Now, but note, before you reset your cloud PC, make sure you back up any important files you need to keep to a cloud storage service or external storage. So for instance, if you have data on the storage of that device, make sure you back it up before you reset it. The only files that are stored in that device are files you sign in through your OneDrive. Now, when your users sign in to their Windows 365 Cloud PC, they also get this is the experience you see. You see, this guy is an administrator. So your users are local admins on their PC. So they can go ahead and install applications as they see fit. That is, if you've deployed an SKU that can handle large applications. If they are frontline workers, they can just go to Edge and access the application they want over the browser. Now, for businesses that are already using Microsoft Intune to manage devices and provision applications, you can enroll Windows 365 Cloud PC to Intune and then deliver your application from a central point. So instead of allowing your users to sign in and install the applications by themselves, you can provision your applications from Intune using a configuration policy, and then once the users sign in, the policies will begin to take effect, and all the applications that you've delivered to them will appear on their Windows 365 Cloud PC. Now, this is for a business model. If you're an SMB and you want to just go direct to purchase Windows 365, you can just go ahead to the portal and get it yourself. But for enterprise organizations, which is not covered within this workshop, for enterprise organization, you need to integrate your Azure AD with your on-premise Active Directory. There's a lot of configuration to be done on that end from the enterprise side. So this is basically some of the applications within Microsoft that can help you and your business experience the power of Microsoft 365, the power of collaboration, productivity, keeping both your users and your customers happy and up to date with the latest tools they need for their work. So you can take the next steps by connecting with your Lotus Beta Analytics rep. If you want to know more about either of the solutions or purchase, you can call your sales rep for more information. And also, if you can reach out to me directly via email if you need maybe specialized demos, or if you need to ask more questions on how to get started, maybe from a technical perspective. You can also send me inquiries at michelle@lotusbetaanalytics.com. My team and I will quickly get on a call with you to understand your business needs and models and provide a solution that will best suit your needs. So this brings us to the end of this discussion today. If you have any questions, I'll be taking them now, or you can send an email or send a chat, send your questions on chat, and then we can respond to them later. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Michelle. I really appreciate your time on the call explaining this solutions. Once again, I say thank you very much. So, just while he was speaking, I just remembered that Bookings is one of the applications that I got access through Microsoft Teams, right? So I don't really know if anyone here on the call has a knowledge of Bookings, right? So Bookings is a solution where you are able to, organize your business, and as the way as to make your customers, meet with you, right? So for instance, I want to have a call with maybe a client who is maybe speaking to me on the phone. Then I just ask for the email address, and I do an email and attach a link to the uh, to the mail body and send to the client. So when this client reads the email, he gets a call to action to click on the link. So once he clicks on the link, he gets to, see my own calendar, right? That's just a second. Let me see if I could share my screen quickly to show you what I am trying to say. And I was using Calendly. I remember I was using Calendly, and I was paying for that particular service. Sound very uh, Sounds very funny, but that's just what it is. I have Calendly here. Let me just show you that. And this Calendly, I am paying for it. I think it's about $15 per month, per user per month. Yeah. So this is my Calendly account. What Calendly does for me basically is to help me schedule sessions with my clients. So if I have let me see. Yeah. So this is my account. This is my dashboard. Just a second. Yeah. So I have technical support sessions. This is like a service that the calendar prepares for me, and there is a booking page for that. Then I have Microsoft Collaborations. That is also a service that I have a link also for that. So if I drop, for instance, any of this now, I copy the link and drop in the chat, and you click on it. Just anyone can click on the link, just so you understand what I'm trying to say. I could click this and open it in a private window so you see what it would look like. So this is what comes out, yeah? And this is fully customized to my organization and myself, right? So what the person sees, name of organization, what the service is about, sees the number of minutes, and more details about what the calendar is for. Now it shows the availability date. This is actually my calendar now, and today is the 28th. You can see. Now you find out that this 28 is not active. It simply means you can't book on this 28 because my schedule is already full, right? You can't book on Saturday because I'm not available on Saturdays. You can't also book on Sundays because I'm not available on Sunday. But there is Monday here, which is active, right? If someone clicks on this Monday, he sees the active hours I have for Monday, right? So I have 10:30, I have 11, I have 11:30, I have 2 p.m. and I have 2:30. That is the only free time on my calendar that someone external can book on. If I am having a conversation with a client, I'm trying to close the deal. Let's say I'm trying to make a sale or a contract or something that I'm trying to reach the person out with, and he wants to have a time with me. This is an available time which he can choose from any of the slots. Say he chooses 2 p.m. and he has to click on confirm. All he needs here is to put the information, put his email address. He can also add a guest if he has someone, the other person he wants to add to the meeting, right? He adds that as guest and put his business name and maybe one or two questions which I may have set. This is already the ones I've set, right? The person clicks here, it goes as a confirmation. Let me use this as a test, just a second, right? And let's say no, no, and no. And then I click to schedule, right? So this is me, the client, talking, and then I have confirmed here. You are scheduled with this organization. This is the time. These are the details. A calendar invitation has been sent to you. You see, I have gotten the calendar invitation saying yes, I have done this link with someone. Let's see this, and then it's here. You see, calendar new event. It says me time service. Hi, this is it, right? So this is the information that comes to me, and I can add this to my calendar, and these are the questions I have put up, as much as the information I can get from there. So basically, this is what Calendly does, and I am paying for this service. However, bookings is absolutely free. And I didn't even know. I just came to find out about that about, let's say, 3 months ago. So I went to bookings. Okay, what even happened? Someone sent me a link for me to, join his meeting, for me to choose a time on his calendar. So I finished using it and I looked very well and I realized that the environment looked familiar, right? So this is bookings basically. This is part of the M365. You can see Outlook, OneDrive, Word. It's just there, right? And I, you know, I'm here in bookings. Now under bookings, this is when you click basically to start the service. You just have to see the main calendar. Let me start that again. Let me say I'm on my email and then I click on bookings. This is the icon. Yeah, to add it here, you can, click to add, but I've already added that. So that's why I'm showing that. I have bookings. I've clicked on bookings and it brings me to bookings. See, Microsoft. This is what I've already set. So this is my main calendar. I can add more calendars, but this is the main calendar, which represents me as an administrator, right? So here I have the booking page, I have my customers, I have staff, I have services, I have business information, I have integrations. And these are the filters that I can apply. This is that calendar I just clicked. Everything shows here, right? For instance, under my booking page, under my services page, I have various services which I believe I have categorized my businesses into. I have my direct maybe appointment with my team. I have my personal appointment. I have technical appointments. I have solution appointments. I have Microsoft appointments. I have Sophos appointments. I have security. I have everything here. All of them are properly defined. And for each of them which I define, for instance, appointment, this I have clicked for appointment is exactly the same thing that appears here. Just as this shows, this is like a service, which this is also showing. This appointment is the service which this is showing here. So this is Azure Technical Support replicated here. This is Azure Technical Support, the same thing. And it has all the details I have set. This is the overview. This is the service details. This is calendar and availability. I can assign staff to that particular service. And in fact, I can organize the entire organization under bookings such that every department of this organization is represented with a service. And if, let's say, clients want to meet the customer service, they want to meet the technical people, they want to meet the pre-sales team, they want to meet the IT team, they want to meet anybody, they can have a calendar which is organized for them, and the link is sent to them. So all they need to do is to add it to their signature. For instance, if you want to book with me, click here. For instance, let's say I want to do a new email. My signature already appears here. So you can see that there is schedule on my calendar. There is book M365 support session, maybe the one that is particular to me, for instance, right? Yeah, and that appears here. So a client who has seen my email on my signature can not just get my phone number or WhatsApp or email, can also book a session with me. And that comes to my calendar and says, hey, so person has done this with you, and you can do this, you can prepare for the meeting, as the case might be. That has eased up to 50% of my work since I discovered Calendly. And now I am no longer using Calendly. I'm now using Bookings, which is exactly the same thing and even more at zero cost. This is just one of the numerous applications that are available on Teams, right? So when we say that Microsoft Teams is actually everything, everyone is also plugging into Microsoft Teams, building solutions for Microsoft Teams, just like iOS and Apple and Android, right? So because they know that this solution is being used, they build their solutions and integrate to it to make it look, to make it usable by other people. So for instance, under apps, I have so much of apps. I just integrated what I call, there was a bot I just integrated, which helps me to talk to my team members before I am available. For instance, that bot can attend to them, set tasks for them, and make things available for them without my even being there. And all this I did using Microsoft Teams, right? So if you're already on Microsoft Teams, that is good news for you. If you're not on Microsoft Teams, you better do something about it. And if you're already on Microsoft Teams and you've not implemented any of these things, I think you really need to talk to Michel. He would help you make your Microsoft Team experience very, very robust, right? So that's it. And from our conversation today, I want to thank everyone for making it to the session, for making it what we wanted to be being here. Very, very important for us. In the chat, I just dropped saying, if you have, this is a great news actually. So if you want to get the free PC, just let me know, right? I'll drop the link now in the chat. The link will contain access to the survey. So in the survey, you can just say, hey, this is me, this is my organization. I want to have either the cloud PC, I want to have Teams, I want to have M365. I just want to have, give me a sample of this. We can do a demo for you again if you want. But anyways, all you've seen here is what you still see. So you can just make a request of that exactly which you want, and we'll get back to you. I'm dropping the link to the survey now. Kindly fill the survey, please. It's just it's less than 10 seconds you fill that survey. Yeah. Just tell us how you feel about the event, whether you like it or not. Just tell us what else we can write down with you. There are three options there: the cloud PC, the M365, and the Teams. Yeah, we can get that all running. And all these things are as cheap as anything, right? And you make your work easier. One last thing, thank you everyone. As you fill the survey, please, um, I want to ask if there is anyone who is here who just want to do, let's say, a vote of thanks before we just close the meeting. Is there anyone here who would like to do a vote of thanks before we close out on the meeting? Okay, Mr. Chinedu's hand is up. You can speak, Mr. Chinedu.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Yeah, first of all, so sorry, I joined a few minutes late, about 10 to 11 minutes. But I think the entire program was very expository. It's interesting, and I appreciate Lotus better. I mean, you guys have been a great partner from Code Hubs, and this is so good getting to know that features like like these ones exist in Microsoft, and also telling everyone how we can use them to scale up our activities. So they are really great for us, and we really appreciate. Thank you so much.
All right. I really appreciate you, Chinedu. Cheers. I don't really know you face to face, but I really appreciate your feedback. Yeah. It means so much to us doing this and making, clients happy. The aim is actually for the businesses to adopt, modern trends, and the task is so much on us. We're trying our very best to reach out to other clients, but we cannot really know everyone's need at the same time. So what we just do is we set up calls like this and invite people just to get to understand what these things are about, right? And our technical guys, they are top notch when it comes to implementation to make these things real and possible for us, right? And we have them all over the globe, and they're making work easier for people, especially in countries like Egypt and Kenya. These guys are really adopting things, right? Nigeria is getting there. We are taking it slow, but we are implementing it. We're having issues with exchange rate as being one of the major factors for organizations having management approvals for IT. We totally understand that, right? And to that, we made a request to Microsoft 2 months ago for them to break down the billings for us from yearly billings to monthly billing. So that way, for instance, you are using Microsoft 365, you can actually pay monthly. Before it used to be an annual thing, right? So, but now you can prepare for this month and you know what your cost is, and then you prepare and you pay for the month. When you use the next month, you pay like that. So it's easier for, we see clients begin to adopt the monthly pattern because some people are not even sure of what the next year will look like, right? But then you can also use the same, because the price for the monthly is actually the price for the yearly. So there is no additional price. All we just needed to do was to break it down and make sure that the unit price for a month will reflect in a year. And that's it. The only challenge we might have is for these clients to vouch and say, okay, yeah, I'm committed to making this payment on a monthly basis, and we don't have a problem with that, right? So implementation for Microsoft Teams, implementation for Cloud PC, implementation from for E365, which is the email and the Word, and all these things, including Defender for business. Many people are still using some kind of antiviruses that are not even you are not even sure of, what these guys are doing with your data. But, the Microsoft policies, the data protection management, everything is open to everyone. This is the reason why countries like Germany and China use Microsoft, because they have very, open policies, and they tell you that they have nothing to do with your data. They are able to, the fact they manage to achieve up to 99% of uh, you know, countries saying this is our data policy, they meet all of them, because basically they are not doing anything with your data, right? So I appreciate anyone who has any cost request aside even what we've discussed. If you have any other request, please reach out to us. Please fill the survey. Let me get the feedback, and I'll follow you up also via email. And if you want to just do me an email, or you want to have a time with me, just as I've just discussed with you, I will drop my booking, the link to my booking, personal booking. You could just drop me, just schedule on my calendar anytime next week, so we can maybe have a little conversation about anything that you have, maybe a need in your organization, maybe an IT need, an IT concern, even if it is for, let's say, even if it's for IT support, any concern you have, just discuss with me. You have a security issue. Just yesterday, I realized that an organization that we were trying to manage their security were just their three of their machines were encrypted. And these are the people who we were begging for them to implement a certain security. And they were like, it's too, they don't really need it. It's not as if it was expensive, but they were like, they don't need it, right? That nothing, they don't have such challenges. They don't have anything that people will worry about. At the end of the day, they have locked three of their virtual machines off their critical, resources. I don't even know how they will even feel at this time, because the IT head was now beginning to lay concern that why didn't we said we told you this? Say, why didn't we tell him? Like, how didn't we tell you? Right? So please, if you have any concern, even if it's security wise, we have security as in features, even advanced threat protections that could keep your organizations as in away from the hackers. And one more thing before I leave us here. No, let me end the recording before I say this. Very important, guys. Just a second.